I was brought up by my grandmother because my father was in a very, very volatile, transferable
Again,
job.
I think grandmother also approached many people, including former Prime Minister, late P.V. Narasimha Rao, wherein she went and requested P.V. Narasimha Rao try to dissuade you from politics.
Yeah. This was before Mr. P.V. Narasimha Rao became the Prime Minister.
Prime Minister, yeah.
This was when he was a cabinet minister here in Delhi. So she went and complained to him saying that my son has become a communist, you please do something. So then P.V. Narasimha Rao, apparently, this is what she says, and I was also surprised. And he said, don't do anything. India requires educated youngsters to come into politics, whatever be his political inclination, but don't dissuade him from politics. My grandmother came back very disappointed.
Naturally. She would have expected a Congress leader to, obviously toe her line.
Obviously, yes. Yeah. Because the Congress and communists were at loggerheads, they continue to be at loggerheads. So she was expecting some sympathy from that side. On the contrary, she got this sort of an advice.
And I think she approached Comrade P. Sundaraya also, and she got a rude jolt there actually.
Again, because my grandfather was a judge of the first bench of the Andhra Pradesh High Court. At those days, the High Court benches were at the presidency headquarters. So Andhra was also part of the Madras presidency. But I was born in 52 in Madras, the General Hospital in Madras. 54, the Andhra bench was constituted within the Madras presidency at Guntur.
Okay.
So he moved as a judge to Guntur. Then 56, the full state was formed, and state of Andhra Pradesh. And 56, the bench shifted to Hyderabad. So I shifted with him. So we were brought up there, and this uncle that we were talking about was only 7 years old. 7 years older to me. So that we were virtually
almost pals actually, friends.
So we virtually grew up together, and then that atmosphere was not really like a large undivided family, but it was like the grandparents looking after. So that was also an advantage because all these cousins you used to meet every year, now we are hardly, most of them are.
I don't think you'll have a time hardly to meet them.
No, but really very sad, but many
you
of them.
Must be missing those days actually now, Comrade Sita.
Many days, the past is.
Past is past.
Past is past now, but all of them have contributed when you look back. That whole diversity, many of them are today very renowned scientists in the US. Some of them are working in many parts.
P. Sundaraya, I read somewhere that she was responding to your grandmother by saying that, bring an intelligent, sharp,
He was very clever. He was very clever. In retrospect, he was very clever. And because I told you about my grandfather, because that's why Sundaraya, Narasimha Rao, all these people were known to the family. And my grandmother's, the one we are talking about, my grandmother's father was also a freedom fighter. His statue is still there in Kairali. So she went to Sundaraya, and they were known as Sundaraya. Then she went one day and told him that, why have you taken my grandson away? He's a bright student.
Leave her, actually.
Bright student, so why have you taken him away? So he said, give me somebody else like your grandson. And then later, if you give me somebody else like your grandson, then I'll return him back to you. Then my grandmother came back. She was disappointed, but she was also very proud.